Hey, welcome to Life in the God Lane. I'm Tom West, and this is my channel where we just teach the Bible. And we're going through messages about how to fight the war and defeat Satan, thump Satan. So how to win the war, and this one is Stand in the Gospel of Peace. And this is for Sunday, May 22nd, 2022. Now, I hope you'll subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell so you get notified every time I put something out. I put something out every day. And give me thumbs up, make comments, share this video with someone else. It could be very helpful to them. This is from Ephesians chapter 6, verse 15. There is a peace that is larger than war. And what we really want is to establish that peace that is larger than war. You defeat Satan and win the war when you establish peace that is larger than war. The great soldier fights the war to establish peace. And that's what we want to do. I was born in January 1949, less than 3.5 years after the end of World War II. Within just over a year, we were in a war in Korea. And then my generation fought the war in Vietnam. And we had a bunch of small wars in the 90s. Most notably, we had the Gulf War, the first Gulf War. It was big while it was going on, but it was short. And then for 20 years, we had war in Afghanistan and Iraq. Now, Russia has invaded Ukraine. And wars just seem to stay with us. We always seem to have wars going on. One war ends, and then another one starts. One war never ends. And it's our spiritual war with Satan. It just keeps on going. Did you know that you can live at peace in the midst of the war and you can win the war? And that includes our war with Satan. You can defeat Satan and live at peace. And you can help others do the same thing. Look at Ephesians 6, verse 15. And having shod your feet with the preparation of the gospel of peace. That's the New American Standard Bible translation. I like the New Revised Standard translation. It's very accurate. Not very many people know about it, but it's extremely accurate to the Greek language. And it's translated this way. As shoes for your feet, put on whatever will make you ready to proclaim the gospel of peace. Roman soldiers would strap on cleated shoes on their feet to keep them from slipping so that they could fight and slip and not slip and not fall in the battle. Just like wearing cleats to play football, that same kind of a thing. Fight the war with shoes that enable you to proclaim good news to establish peace. Now the gospel is mentioned here. It is always the good news of peace. The gospel we are ready to proclaim establishes peace even while we're in the battle. And you fight the battle to establish peace. Again, that's what the great soldier always does. The gospel is Christ's death paying for sin and his resurrection from the dead, giving us life and defeating death forever and for good. So with the wall of sin and death gone, we are restored to a relationship with God, and peace is restored with God. And even though we're still doing battle with the devil, we're living in a state of peace with God. While we do battle, while we're at war with Satan, we can be at peace with God. And ultimately, we win the war with Satan by helping others come to a relationship of peace with God. That's why we strap on the cleats and go out and be ready to proclaim the gospel of peace to others so that they can live in a peace relationship with God and win the war. Always be ready to share the good news about Jesus. It can establish peace with God for people, and they live in a relationship of peace and win the war. Bless your heart. I'll talk to you tomorrow.